With the right training platform, onboarding, training, and recruiting becomes seamless. And as somebody who's built a training platform out for not only corporate companies, but government agencies, today I wanted to give you a step by step guide on how you can get started doing that today. All right, guys. So, a couple things that we want to remember when it comes to creating this training platform is the first one is being perfect is the ultimate distraction. There's a quote I know that says, a focused fool will always beat a distracted genius. And so don't worry about the training platform that you need. Don't worry about how perfect the videos look. Just get started. And then as you get better at it, you'll be able to progress to make the videos better. The next thing is that the content is most valuable in your head when it's distributed. I think a lot of times what happens, myself included, that whenever you're an entrepreneur, you have, or if you're a CEO or an executive, or you're somebody who has to teach other people, you don't realize how easy stuff comes to you as far as getting stuff done. So it all sits up here. But this is going to allow you to get that content out there. But if you don't have that understanding, you'll never be able to really build out what you need to build out. And then the next one is short answers never helped anyone. And so the reason I'm telling you that is because of the fact that when it comes to the next step, you're going to need to be as in depth as possible in order to create effective training content. So, when it comes to the prompt AI, so what you're going to do is, what I've found to be most effective is if you hit the dictate button and then you follow this process, you'll be able to then get great training content. And so, you're going to say you're an expert training content developer, and then you're going to say, I need a copy and paste teleprompter script for this process. Now, this process isn't going to be what you say. You're going to say whatever process. So, how to sell whatever service, how to change this light bulb, how to do whatever. And then what you're going to do is you're going to talk about the process. And I need you to talk about it from start to finish as in depth as possible. If you need to talk about like the little minute things for 10 to 20 minutes, it's fine. I've seen that anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes is really all you need. And then once you do that, you'll hit the dictate button again, and then you'll say craft this script. So I'm going to do it for you guys really quick. Again, this isn't going to be as in depth as yours will be because of the fact that I'm trying to show you how to do it from a training video perspective. But again, when I get to the talk about the process part, you're going to go as in depth as possible. So all you're going to do is you're going to say, you are an expert training content developer. I need a copy and paste teleprompter script for the process of creating short form videos using Submagic. And so how it starts off is whenever you get the 30 to 60-second video that the client will send, you need to upload it to Submagic. You then need to go look at the brand guide and make sure that the subtitle styles you're using match the fonts and the colors that have been approved as far as the branding guide. From there, you need to make sure that only one line of text is on each part of the video. So if there's double lines, you need to break that down. And there shouldn't be more than 4 to 5 words per line as the video progresses. Once you do that, you then need to take the transcript and give it to ChatGPT or Claude and ask it to create a hook title. You'll then go back to Submagic. And when you say utilize hook title generator, you will then switch out whatever hook it gives you to the one that Claude gives you on the video. And then you need to analyze the first frame. If the first frame isn't good, you need to use an AI generated image for Claude or ChatGPT in order to have a professional looking thumbnail. And then once you do all of that, you'll save the video, and then you need to message Freddie on WhatsApp to let him know that it's ready for revisions. Now, when I was talking there, that's my actual process, but I didn't go as in depth as I needed to. But I wanted to do that to kind of show you how it works. And so now it says, say, craft this script. I just type and say, now craft this script. And so it generates a script. And all it's doing is polishing the content that you gave it here. You don't have to copy that last line, but what you'll do is you'll go here and you'll copy this. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to NotebookLM. When you do that, once you go to NotebookLM, it's a free Google app. All you're going to do is you'll click new and you'll go to copy text and you'll click insert And so then the AI is going to analyze what you did, and you're going to hit audio overview. So then we're going to come back in a few minutes from there. Now, this next one, when it comes to using a hosting platform, I use HighLevel. I've used HighLevel for corporate clients. I've used HighLevel for government agencies. I've never had any real problems with it. And so when it comes to utilizing HighLevel, you're probably going to either have to pay $300 a month for your own white labeled version, or you can pay $97 a month and learn to use it, or you can use ours for $147 a month. If that's something you want to do, feel free to message me and we can get you set up with an account. But what you're going to do is you're going to go into the membership section. Once you go into the membership section, you're going to hit products, you're going to hit create new, and you're going to hit start from scratch. Okay, so we're going to give the course a title, your company training, and then we're going to upload a thumbnail. So for sake of this, I'm just uploading a random picture of Chicago, but you can upload any photo here. And then you're going to go to setup pricing, and you're going to keep it free. And then you're going to hit create course. Now it's created your course. And if we go to preview, you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. Now, again, we're still in the starting phases, but when it comes to course content, so you can just change this title to modules, or you can change it to learning. You can change it to whatever, and you hit save changes. Okay, and then what you're going to do from here is you're going to go to the welcome aboard, but we're just going to change, like, the name of this isn't going to be welcome aboard. It's going to be whatever the process is. So how to edit short form videos. Okay. So then what we're going to do is you're going to go to NotebookLM. Once you go to NotebookLM, it's still generating. Okay. So then we'll come back to that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you're going to copy this script that you created, except for that last line, of course. And then you're going to go to a website called ElevenLabs. And then ElevenLabs is an AI voiceover generator. And so I'm going to go to text to speech. I'm going to paste it and paste the text in here. They have a bunch of voices you can choose from. I've already decided I'm going to use this voice here, but you have lots of options. Again, I'm not a fan of like trying to make everything seem like it's hard, and I'm just a fan about like getting stuff done. So that's really why I'm kind of blazing through this. It's like find a voice. So what it's doing right now is it's playing the old script that I had, but like once you hit generate speech and you get the voice in ElevenLabs, it's generating right now. So let's see if it worked. So we're good, and you can listen to it if you want. I know it's going to sound good though, just because I've done this enough times. So you're going to say voiceover for short form editing. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back into ChatGPT. And then there's a couple of things. You're going to say, I need a photo of I selected the African American voice. Again, you just want to make it line up. You can do any voice. African American male, as if he is doing a talking head training video. Give the background good depth of field. The image should be from the waist up, and it should be as if he's talking, as if he's getting ready to do a training video. Now look, what you want to do is you want to make sure that like it gets an understanding. So basically you're going to have one person just there, and I think it's gotten a good idea based on what it's kind of trying to do. But like, okay, so now that's not bad. But what I say is put his hands down and then format the image to 16 by 9 format. That's for horizontal video, so you need that format. And then I say it should still be from the waist up. Again, AI is not something that if you think that it's going to be able to solve all of your problems in one click, that's not the case. And anybody who tells you that that's the case probably has spent a lot of money on people and developers who have front loaded a lot of the grunt work for them. So, okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this image and we're going to say male actor video. And then now we've gotten the picture and we've gotten the voiceover. So now if we go back to NotebookLM, it's still generating. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Hedra. And then we're going to go to create and we're going to go to generate video. So now in Hedra, what we're going to do is down here. So Hedra is great for a lot of AI stuff, but the avatar is really why I have the subscription. And so what you're going to do is in the search bar, you're going to type in Hedra avatar. You're going to type in avatar. You're going to select Hedra avatar. And literally what you're going to do is drag and drop the start frame, drag and drop the voiceover. And then you're going to hit, and then here you're going to put training video. And then you're going to hit generate. And let's go back to NotebookLM while we do this. Okay, so it's still generating. But as we have this, now that we've gotten this script already, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to those conversations that we have. And so you're going to go to the one that has a script. And now you're going to say, now craft this as a training module. Now I just, instead of craft this as, I'm going to go now generate a training module description for copy and paste. I always say for copy and paste because it just makes it easier to build out. Okay, so basically you'll take that generation and you'll go to the lesson description and then you have it here. Okay, so now the Notebook LM, we go back to Notebook LM, the podcast is ready to go. Okay, so now it's generated the podcast. So then you're going to say training podcast, and then you're going to download it. And then where it says downloadable resources, you're going to drop and drag that right there. So now you've got a podcast to train people on this process. And then if we go back to Hedra, you'll see here is basically it's generating the videos. I do 2 generations just to be safe. But then once you see the complete video, it'll show you basically what we need to do. Once you see the complete video, it really closes the whole process. And so when it comes to this process, you have to understand that it's going to get faster as you do it, because then you get to the point where all you do is process, voiceover, picture, upload, and you really use the same picture over and over again. So let's wait a little bit, and then the final outcome for the video will occur, and then we can kind of jump into bringing it all together. So that took about 10 minutes, but here is our video. Give it a second. Okay, so The only thing that I would have done differently is on the crop image, I would have done that to where his whole head was shown, but there's nothing I can really do at this point. So once I get that video, and again, I'm showing you how to do this with speed. I go back to this module and I drag and drop the video there. And because it's AI videos, for some reason they don't ever seem to take up a lot of energy, like a lot of memory. So then now that it's saved, when we go to preview it, now it's still transcoding. Okay, so now you have the video, now you have the podcast here for them to listen to. Now, here's the cool thing though when it comes to high level is that if you go to your community section and you go to settings, so the first thing that you're going to do is once you get the product, so if you go to settings, sorry, in courses, or no, actually analytics, I'm sorry. But once you go to that, you can go to member analytics and you can actually look at the member analytics and you can see how much of a video somebody's watched. Like this is my own one, so I can't, so like I haven't really watched a lot of them, but like you can see the percentage of videos. That way you can go back to your team and you can basically say, okay, you didn't watch this video. That's why this messed up in the process. And so I need you to go back and watch it. And then you can tell if they're actually committed based on how they watched it there. So then we have that module created. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to offers and you're going to create an offer. And you're just going to call it training. You're going to call it whatever. You can call it your systems and processes, whatever you want. And so then what you're going to do is when it says select products, you're going to select the company training that you have. And then you're going to go save. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to hit get link. And then you can just save this in your phone. And then when somebody wants to learn about the training, oh, let me go right back. Sorry about that. Copy again. Okay, sorry. Give me a second. Let me actually, I got to save. So then I say your company training. Again, you can put whatever you want here. I'm just looking at it from a perspective of how do we get this out fast, right? So then we go get link. Let's see if it works. It should work now. Oh yeah, there you go. It's working now. So then you get this page. And so you can put whatever content you want on this page. Again, it doesn't cost anything. But once they put in their name and email, so like if I put in my name and email here and I go to proceed to checkout, it'll set me up with a account to then log into the training going forward. It'll give me an email notification. And so that's basically how start to finish I build training platforms on the base level utilizing AI. And the thing is that in the past, you would have to use videographers, then editors, and then certain platforms. Let's say high level costs you $147 a month. Hedra is $15 a month. ElevenLabs is $10 a month. ChatGPT is $20 a month. So right now, all of those added in, we're at $45 a month. NotebookLM is free. And so now you have the ability to where if you have an idea, you just speak it into ChatGPT, run the play, and now you have a module built out and you didn't have to worry about editing, videographers, or any of the process. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. But again, I just wanted to show you what's possible utilizing AI and how you can get started today.